Khatun really split the community when it comes to how she was received. On one hand, people stated her almost impossible to defend mix-up, to argue that she's a force to be reckoned with. The barrage of soft feints and regular feints making a correct read against her is nearly impossible. On the other hand, avid Khatun players point out her guard break vulnerabilities that plague her entire kit. Regardless of these opinions, it is undeniable that the interest in her is already dying down, recognizable by, but not limited to, the extremely low amount of players that still play her in her early access time. With the amount of time I've spent playing as her, I can confidently state that both of these sides have a solid point. The pressure she can generate and maintain in 1v1s is something that only a handful of heroes stand any chance of defending against. No, you're not one of them. Having to face off against multiple opponents as her is a totally different experience. The second you're outnumbered, it feels like you're no longer in the driver's seat. With multiple opponents around you, your main mix-up, meaning her soft feint kick and your running stance, can no longer be used safely. Since a part of these attacks, she can only realistically use her soft feint light to deal damage. Her combat capabilities are hindered severely when you're outnumbered. Bad turns to worse when you realize that after a combo finisher attack, your running stance doesn't save you from a guard break punish. Considering the things I've said up until now, if there is only one thing you're taking away from this video, it should be the following. Is it really necessary for Katon to not be able to continue her chain after kick mix-up? Regarding this one very simple question, I really considered a lot of factors to come to an appropriate conclusion. Is this a necessary evil to keep her in check? Would this little change be the point where she gains critical mass in duels? This isn't a question that can be answered with a simple yes or no. To get a better understanding of this question, let's look at some heroes that can also soft feint their attacks into a bash and compare them to Khatun. First, let's do the obvious thing. What can a Ramusha do? Khatun has already been imposed the title Ramusha 2.0 by a big part of the community. Him getting a connection with his ring the bell move after a neutral feinted heavy attack will give him the option to continue his chain. But he cannot flow into another ring the bell mix-up. So no more soft feints after the first neutral attack. This means that Ramusha's general mix-up is worse, but it is safe as long as it connects. Let's look at somebody else who can soft feint their heavy attacks into a bash. Valkyrie. Valkyrie with a shield bash soft feint also has the option to continue her chain, so no problem there. She can even go for another soft feint if her first one successfully connected. Let's look at one more example. Blackbriar soft feint. And yes, Blackbriar can soft feint his neutral heavy into a bash. If this bash connects, he can go for a light and immediately flow into his full block stance, meaning he has defensive options and is safe from a guard break if he goes for the unblockable heavy. Something very important to take note of is that all of these mix-ups I've shown up until now are guard break punishable. Unlike Khatun's soft feint kick. Yeah, never mind that. Her soft feint kick is actually also guard break punishable. Even after stating all of this, what still has to be considered is that Khatun's kicks come out way faster than any of the other soft feint bashes I've mentioned up until now. So, the one thing you should take away from this video is that the worst thing about her entire kit, which makes her almost absolutely obsolete in Dominion, is that the light after a soft feinted kick is a chain ender. When facing off against competent opponents, you will see just how detrimental this is. Her fast flow into her running stance doesn't help her with this problem either, since the attacks come out at such a timing that a guard break will still be guaranteed for your opponent. This is the one thing that needs addressing. There are two ways of fixing this problem, and therefore making Khatun into a truly amazing hero to play as. You can either make it so that A, her combo does not end after a soft fend kick, meaning she can still continue attacking after inputting that light attack. Or option B is you can make it so that the attacks she does out of her running stance come out way faster, meaning by the time somebody input a guard break, you're already midway through your animation. When I say coming out faster, I don't mean the animations being shorter, I mean that the time she spends running on the spot is reduced, so her attacks come out sooner into her running stance. Currently it feels like she has to run an entire marathon to get even one attack out of her stance. With her main weakness now addressed, let us turn away from what could be to what we've got. As expected, Katon emerged as a ganking specialist. With her pins and kicks constantly guaranteeing damage, having her during a team fight severely tips the odds of winning into your favor. Her running full block also forces your opponents to think before they do big cleave attacks, due to the risk of getting counter-attacked. Talking about the pin, it is possible with perfect timing to get 2 attacks into her pin, leading to some massive damage. Funnily enough, in this example, you can see that since our attacks hit simultaneously, the Black Prior still has no guard and cannot block the follow-up. This means that hypothetically it's possible to get 3 attacks out of this one pin attack, but I have yet to see this happen. All in all, most of the things I've mentioned in my previous video still hold up. Katon's design and the way her offense works was a risky choice, and the consequences, well, they already show. With how few people play her even so shortly after her release, you can conclude that this way of creating a hero was a shot in the dark. Although these mentioned flaws seem very small, the devastating impact they have on her performance is undeniable. I don't want to end this video on such a bad note though. Talking about balance is one thing, having fun is another. Even with her shortcomings, she's a blast to play, and she brings something truly unique to the table. It just seems like Khatun has a lot of unused potential. Like always, thank you guys so much for watching up until the end. It really means a lot to me. For anybody wondering, I will be giving a bigger announcement about the Discord channel next video. That will probably come out in the middle of the next week. And yeah, that's everything I have to say. I hope your day was awesome, I hope your next week is awesome, and watch yourselves out there, okay?